I'm not super jacked. I'm not talented. I don't run a 4.40. Like, I'm not this athlete, right? I just outworked everybody else. And I outworked everybody that I fought. So it's like, if I want something, I can work for it and get it. I know I can. I've done it over and over and over and over. You know, I fought dudes way bigger than me, jacked than me. They can dunk a basketball. They can, you know, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're super athletic. It doesn't matter. I just outwork them, and I'm able to win. So, like, I think that mentality of just, like, keep going and you'll get it, keep working and you'll get it, I think that's, like, the biggest thing I took because I applied it to everything else. You know what I mean? I want this jiu-jitsu black belt. I'm working for it. I'm going to get it.
Here with Jesse James Wallace today, Dana White Contender Series vet, LFA vet, Bellator vet. How you doing today?
I'm good, man. Thank you for spending the time to come interview me.
Yeah, appreciate you coming in. So, what I really wanted to do is just kind of get the deep dive on you as a fighter, really. So, just as like an introduction, for the ones who may not know, how did you get started in mixed martial arts, and what was the first moment or day like you realized that this is what you wanted to do?
So I watched the UFC on TV. Through a close family friend every time we went over there on the weekends to my friend's house. UFC was on. So I was just kind of watching it passing, then I started watching it some more. And then, of course, high schoolers like fighting in side yards and fighting in backyards. I decided to do it one time, got absolutely destroyed. And then 2 days later, he was like, let's go to this gym, see if we can do it, you know? So we went to the gym, and I fell in love with the jiu-jitsu part right away. It was a no-gi jiu-jitsu class, and I just fell in love with it right away. They invited me back the next night they called it pro training, but it was really just them beating me up to see if I quit. And I didn't. Came back the third day, and they were like, you don't have to pay, we're going to put you on the fight team. So it was that fast. And I think the time where I knew that was for me, it was after my first fight. I was terrified. Got the first round submission. As soon as he tapped, I just lost it. It was like that feeling of thousands of people watching just me. It's all on me, and I came through. I was like, yeah, this is it. Because I've always played team sports. So you can have a bad day, and your team can save you. You know, This is all on you. And getting that win in front of everybody, it was like, oh, this is it.
It's a rush, right?
This is it. Yeah. There's no recreating that. You know.
Yeah, that's what I hear. It's just like a one of a kind feel because so much at stake.
Yeah.
You win, it's really great, but if you lose, and
it stays with you.
It's kind of destroys you a little bit.
Yeah, the wins go away kind of quick. You just kind of get back to work, but the losses, they haunt you until you get another win. You know, that's all you are for the next 3 months. You lost your last fight, and then every person you see, hey, what's your last fight? You know, or when are you fighting again? Like, well,
yeah.
So the
constantly having to bring it up.
The losses hang with you for a very long time. You get a win, you kind of takes the weight off you, but they're short-lived, or they should be at least, and you get right back to work.
Yeah. So you've been fighting as early as 2009. Correct me if I'm wrong. And I imagine training probably a little bit before then?
Yeah, my first fight was August of 2008.
Okay.
So I had 3 months of training before then. Kind of got snookered into the fight, but I fought and I won.
So how would you describe your experience in the sport of MMA in the past 14 years, whether it be, the highs and lows, what you've gotten from the sport, what you've taken from it, what you've given to it, just anything?
Yeah. Well, it completely changed my life, I would say. First, I wanted to play professional football, and then I wanted to play professional baseball. And so I was playing baseball forever. And then as soon as I started fighting, I quit everything else. All I wanted to do was fight after that. And it changed everything I was doing. Finished college as soon as I could to get into a gym.
Where'd you go to school
at? Northwest Mississippi Community College, Little JUCO, about 30 minutes from my house. But yeah, quit everything to do MMA. And put everything into it, but I guess being cool under pressure is one of the best things it taught me. Calm, staying relaxed, like this will pass too, whether it's good or bad, this will pass, just keep charging. So it's definitely helped me in that aspect of just like everyday life is going to be okay because I've been in a worse spot than what I've been in. I've been in terrible spots and got out, so definitely to have like this will pass too.
Could you explain maybe any like type of ordeals you had to go through as a fighter? Maybe it's an injury, or maybe it's dealing with like a promotion? Like, what's an issue that people on the surface don't really understand that fighters go through? That's mainly something that's not mainstream for everyone to understand that you guys go through.
Yeah, injuries are obviously like the easy one to go to because every fighter gets hurt, and the fight isn't even really the hard part. The fight camp is the hard part.
Yeah.
8 weeks of hard training to be able to get to fight. Going into camps hurt, getting hurt in camps, but you don't want to back out of the fight, so you just tape it up and keep going. So injuries for sure, small or big, that people don't even know you're injured because you don't tell anybody. You don't find out until after the fight that this guy's injured. Another one would be like the discipline of, you don't want to wake up early in the morning and run, but you got to. You don't want to eat right all day, but you got to. You don't want to hit that third training session of the day, you got to. And people getting upset that you don't get to go to birthdays and parties. You might miss Christmas. You might miss these things because you're training. And it's really only you that understands it. Other people don't really get all the time you miss. And I kind of understand it now more that I have kids of like all that time that I put in the gym. It's just not with other things, but I'm fully committed to it, and it's paid off for me. So I think it's worth it to me. All the time and effort that I put into it, it brought me places I never thought I'd be able to go, got me things I never thought I would get, and I'm very happy with my life thanks to MMA.
And we're all glad. We're all glad for that. We're all glad for that. We're happy to see you thriving. I feel like there's like a big untapped audience because there's like the mainstream guys that get their media. There's this filmmaker that I followed for a while. He's done the Dagestan Chronicles with Khabib. He's documented his story. And he was talking on a podcast where I want to talk to the guy who's not ranked. I want to talk to the guy who's just, this is his life, but he's not in the mainstream. He's trying to breach that level to where he's trying to get there. Like these are the guys that are like, and at that point where they're all fighting for that spot. They're all fighting for that contract or that title or that position
where they still have a job.
Yeah.
They still have a day job.
There's a lot of guys like that.
A lot, yeah.
In between doing other stuff. So that's kind of what I've been trying to do. Mm-hmm. I've been trying to weed out the insides of the MMA world. That's closest to me, not Vegas and Hollywood, the bright lights. I'm trying to break it down from the core. Yeah. So that's just kind of where I'm going with this. But
for sure.
You're at a point in your career now where you fought for like a number of organizations. Is there like a particular one you might be eyeing to stay at in the future, or are you just trying to freelance?
Yeah, I'm definitely going to fight again. Obviously, I still want to be in the UFC. I want to get back in the UFC. And that's going to be my goal until they don't want me anymore, until I quit up getting offered fights. Mm-hmm. That's going to be the goal, and I want to fight with the most people. I want to fight on the biggest stages. Until it's just not offered to me anymore. I don't want to be the best in my state. I don't want to be the best in the region. I want to be with the best in the world, or it's time for me to switch gears and go into more of a coaching role. Like I could fight locally for the next 10 to 15 years and just beat up dudes for a paycheck, but that's not what I want. If I can't be, world class or the best in the country, then it's just time for me to switch gears into something else. If I can't hang with the top guys in the UFC, Bellator, stuff like that, then it's just not for me. Nothing wrong with fighting locally for the next 10 or 15 years. It's just not for me. I want to compete with the best and train with the best. Or just time for me to switch gears and put my energy into making guys who can compete and train with the best,
Yeah, I get that. In your last fight, just a little flashback with Austin Clem, you showcased your ground game really well and dominated the majority of the fight with those skills. Has jiu-jitsu been still a major part of your training, or have you focused on striking more since you've been here? Or is it just, because I know that's a core of your game, your brown belt, but has that still been the fundamentals you've been keeping up with, or you doing more striking? What's going on in camp, really?
Yeah, of course. I mean, it's no secret that my jiu-jitsu is the best part of my game, and it's gotten even better since being here. I would be an idiot not to pick Cole's brain and train with Cole every day. His jiu-jitsu is nasty. I mean, you've seen his submissions in the UFC, so I would be an idiot not to use that. But yeah, I would say that my striking has leveled up tenfold since being here, just training with Cole and Master Cattell. What Cattell showed him, he's showing me. But yeah, my striking is leveled up tenfold, but I would say I'm training everything. I'm training in the gi, I'm training no gi, Muay Thai, and I'm doing it all. But I would say my jiu-jitsu is always there. I feel like it's always in the back pocket. If it gets too hot, I feel like I can always fall back on it. But my striking is leveled up more than I ever could have expected being here.
Sweet. Since your last fight, you've had a lot of time to train, teach, and improve as a whole as a fighter. Can you explain how just teaching MMA has helped you as a fighter or as a person in general? You know, you're dealing with kids and the youth, and what has that done for you? Really?
Yeah, I like coaching because I think you really understand the move. You can teach it to someone else if they have no clue what the move is or they've never done the move before. If you can break it down and teach someone brand new, I feel like you really know the move then. It's easy for like, if it's me, Lathan, Moon, and Colin here, we can kind of just tell each other a few things and we got it because we've done these motions so many times. But if you can teach a brand new person something that they've never done before and they hit it, I feel like then you really know the move inside and out. And I want to go on and get my own school and I got to know the moves inside and out because they will all be new, you know what I mean? So I feel like you really understand the move if you can teach it to somebody brand new.
Absolutely. I've noticed you've kind of been involved with working with that fight promotion, Summit FC, out of Tupelo, Mississippi. You fought for them as early as 2014 as an amateur and a pro. Tell us how your experience has been fighting for them and doing matchmaking for them as well.
Of course. It goes way back with Jamie Houston and Matt Weibel, two of my really good friends. I was helping Matt kind of here and there with the show, fighting for the show. And I just kept getting reeled in for more and more responsibilities. And then I was running the show. And then Matt recently retired and he handed over matchmaking to me. And I'm currently matchmaking our 10-year anniversary show. Not a lot of shows can make it 10 years, but we're alive and thriving, very, very big in Tupelo, Mississippi. We're going to branch out, of course. But I love Summit. I'll always be a part of Summit. And, you know, I'm very grateful that they let me take over as matchmaker.
Awesome. An aspect I wanted to hit on, you know, part of, you know, you as a fighter was your coach's corner, whether that be your current coaches or coaches you've had in the past. Can you kind of give people an idea of how much impact the coaches have on fighters and how they contribute to a fighter's success in and outside the cage?
Of course, yeah. I've had a lot of coaches, more coaches that I didn't get along with that I did. I feel like you just kind of have to click, you know. I feel like your styles have to go well together. I've definitely had like abrasive coaches. I've had coaches that are hard on me that I liked more. I kind of like that. I don't want to hear the "you're so good."
Yes, man.
Yeah, I don't want the yes man. You know, Cole's brutally honest. Me and him clicked right away. And I knew he was going to be my coach right away. But yeah, I've traveled and gotten different gyms, and I'm very picky on who I listen to. And luckily, American Top Team, best gym in the world, Cole Miller, is a Harvard graduate of American Top Team.
As he has said.
Yeah, so I'm very grateful for them, and the coaches at ATT are the best in the world. So I'm very picky on who I listen to and who I kind of just let talk. So yeah, the coaching is a huge part. Just they see mistakes that you don't even realize you're making, and even at the highest level, the smallest mistake can turn the whole fight over. You know, not putting your hand in a certain place, not blocking a certain place, missing a little bit of a move somewhere, they reverse you and the whole fight is different now. You know, but I have high level eyes looking at me every time I train. I'm very thankful for Lathan too, stepping into a coaching role. So I trust these guys. You have to trust them. You know, it can't just be them telling you to do something and you're just doing it, right? If you don't trust them and you know that they're putting in the work with you and they understand, watching tape for you, all that kind of stuff, I feel like you really have to connect with your coach to be able to trust it. Because in the cage, if there's a moment of doubt, it's very easy for you to just be like, you don't know what he's talking. You know, it's very easy to bail.
Yeah.
If you believe in the process, you believe in
mentally.
it. Yeah. It's very easy to stay mentally strong if you know that the whole team has your back and we're all on the same page. So finding a good coach is definitely a big deal. Don't just go to the first person and listen to everything they're saying. It has to be the right fit. You guys have to get together well, and I'm very lucky to have a good team.
So mentally aligned is a good way to sum it up.
Yeah, mentally aligned for sure. They don't have to do every workout with you, right? But you guys need to be on the same page at where we're going. Game plan needs to be on the same page. If there can't be, hash it out. You know, you guys disagree, but you can hash it out. You know, so it needs to be mentally aligned is a good way to say it for sure.
Interesting. I know this might be a question you've probably been asked quite a bit. Maybe you have, maybe you haven't, and a lot of fighters in general probably get it asked to them. I'm just curious to see what your response will be. So what does it mean to you to be a fighter?
Yeah.
It's a general thing, right?
Yeah,
and
I've given
everyone's
a
got
bunch
their own
of-
deal. I gotta ask.
No, it's okay. I've given a bunch of different answers for this one. I think it's just like my drive and my no quit mentality. If I want something, work hard for it, and you'll get it. I'm not super jacked. I'm not talented. I don't run a 4.4 40. Like, I'm not this athlete, right? I just outworked everybody else, and I outworked everybody that I fought. So it's like if I want something, I can work for it and get it. I know I can. I've done it over and over and over and over. You know, I fought dudes way bigger than me, jacked than me. They can dunk a basketball. They can, whatever. It doesn't matter. They're super athletic. It doesn't matter. I just outwork them, and I'm able to win. So, like, I think that mentality of just, like, keep going and you'll get it, keep working and you'll get it, I think that's, like, the biggest thing I took because I applied it to everything else. You know what I mean? I want this jiu-jitsu black belt. I'm working for it. I'm going to get it, So just that ability to just, even though it doesn't look good right now, it looks shaky right now, I'm in a bad spot in the fight right now, just keep going and you'll get it. And I've done that over and over and over, so I believe it,
Persistence and heart.
For sure.
Yeah. What are your future plans for this year, next? Anything, it could be, you could mention, when you want to fight, or just anything else that you're planning in general.
Yeah, I plan on getting all my guys matched in big fights toward the end of the year. I plan on getting my jiu-jitsu black belt this year.
This year?
Yeah, I plan on it. Yeah, I'm working my ass off.
That's not far away.
Yeah.
December.
Yeah, I'm working my ass off for it. So, plan on getting that this year. I don't think I will fight before the end of the year. I need to focus on this. But I do already have an offer to main event a show next year. So I would like to do that. I would like to come back early next year and then just go on a tear to get back in the UFC next year. I'm only 30 years old. I've had 40 fights, but I'm only 30. I'm not this like busted old jalopy. You know what I mean? I'm still in good shape. I'm still good to go. I just have some injuries to button up, and I feel like I main event this show in February. We get the year rolling off right. I think it's going to be a good year.
Yeah, I mean, I was watching Dana White's Contender Series last night, and he was giving out a contract to Khrushchevsky, this Brazilian that is 35 years old.
Yep.
35 years old, and he's fought pro, but not in the place that he's wanted to, but he's getting here at 35. DC started fighting at 30 years old, Daniel Cormier. So, age doesn't mean nothing.
I
It's
started
just a
fighting when I
number.
was 15.
Yeah, it's just a number. It's random for everybody. Everyone's got their own different paths that they align with the sport. And another thing I do when I'm starting to interview people is I'm asking like your takes certain fights. Me and Moon will talk picks in the upcoming fights. I'm trying to think the next pay-per-view that's coming up is October. Makhachev, Oliveira 2. What are your thoughts on that? Who do you have, and how's it gonna happen?
Yeah, I'm not sure anybody's beating Islam right now.
Yeah.
He's kind of blitzing through everybody, right? Until you can find somebody to stop that Dagestani style, I don't see him losing, you know what I mean? Of course, Oliveira can take the back and choke. He's done it time and time again, so I would never count him out. But I would pick Islam to win again.
He's a problem.
That
He's
whole
a problem.
style, all of them.
I think Volk really did give him a little bit of a problem.
Yeah.
Though. That was a chink in his armor, I would say.
I think he's shorter, stockier.
Islam
can stop the shot.
is so big for
I think his
lightweight.
hips are already lower, so it's harder for him to get the shot down.
Yeah.
But yeah, he gave him problems for sure.
I mean, I think his long reach is what really gave him that advantage.
Right.
And that, because he's a short guy, but his arms are long. And I'm like, who made this guy? Like, who made him
they just took spare parts.
super short, 100, well, he was really 210 originally.
Yeah.
But
They
who
just
made
took
him
spare
super short,
parts.
long arms? Yeah, we'll just give him the long person's arms, the welterweight's arms or whatever.
He's a 45-year-old. We'll give him 85 arms.
But Islam's a big guy. I mean, I remember rewatching the fight and just looking at him from behind, and his shoulders are so wide. He's just such a long guy, wide guy. So I think that advantage, size advantage, was everything for him.
Yeah.
Because if he was down a weight class, I don't know if he would have pulled it off against a guy like Volk, who's been so dominant against everyone he's fought. And I saw a stat yesterday. Every champion from 2021 is not champion in their weight class anymore. Volk's the only one left from that year.
Right.
Who's champion.
And
I'm
beat
like,
Max several times.
3 times, yeah.
Max is very good at like adjusting on the fly, especially like in the cage. So to beat him more than once is like,
3 times.
Yeah.
Not back to back, but
right.
still quite a bit. That one blew my mind. But another one that also blew my mind, there's been 2. There's the Sterling and O'Malley, and then there's Strickland and Adesanya.
Slept on the O'Malley one.
Yeah, I
saw it coming too. Had to tuck his head. But
his striking is more than people give him credit for.
Of course, yeah. I mean, you can't argue it now.
Yeah, 100%. And then Strickland with his Philly show.
Yeah, that was crazy. I mean,
walked him down.
Yeah, Izzy's on the back foot the whole time. No sense of urgency at all. Even knowing you're down, you need to finish. Still no urgency. I saw him not being able to kick the inside leg and get him off balance. He was able to check it and lift it. And so Izzy never got that space. He was in his space the whole time with that little half check and lifting it up. So Izzy was never able to keep him off him. It was just in his chest for 5
I think
rounds.
he had too much of a reliance on counter striking and feinting and being able to capitalize on mistakes that guys are coming in too quick, shooting the gun.
It was like those Diaz style punches where they just chip away at you, chip and chip.
Slowly getting there, which is insane. I just didn't see that happening, but he did it. He said what he was going to do. He was going to walk him down. But man, the way it happened, I just couldn't believe it. Like the other guys that have been there with him, I'm like, Robert Whitaker didn't do that to him.
I thought the way Strickland got knocked out by
Pereira.
Yeah, I thought like, Izzy will just do the same thing.
That's what I thought.
That's the same thing I thought.
But the power difference is a little different there. He's got power and he doesn't play. He's not as much of a counter striker as Izzy. I feel he's
coming forward.
He's coming
Put
forward.
This hatchet in your head.
But I think I saw something where he was talking about where he was scared of Sean Strickland. Like in the fight, he's like, this guy, like he like thought he was gonna be scared of him, but he was like just on the aggression towards him, and he's like, this guy won't stop walking towards me.
Yeah.
Like even though after everything you've seen, I've knocked out the champion, you're still walking towards me, trying to walk me down. You may have gotten knocked out, but it's persistence, the heart we were talking about. It's insane.
And you believe you're gonna win every time. There's no doubt that you're gonna win every time.
Yeah.
You do all 6-8 weeks of training. I'm winning this fight. There's no. Yeah, he's good, but I'm good too.
Yeah.
There's never a doubt. If there's a doubt, probably shouldn't be fighting anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy. It's just the MMA world's been rocked with the recent upsets. It's that thing that Dana will always say is anything can happen.
For sure.
Anything can happen, and it's just going to show in like the past 3 months. Anything can happen.
Yep.
Underdogs, like Grasso. Grasso come and beat Shevchenko after defending the belt 7 times.
Yeah. Shevchenko's bad.
I mean, and then in the last fight, that was super close. And then there's that whole 10-8 fifth round.
Yeah.
I just watched a press conference last night. They're having a seminar. The athletic commission.
10-8 rounds. Yeah, I saw that.
10-8s.
I saw that.
It was that big of a deal. I mean, we'll see the controversial decision every now and then, but you'll never hear him having a seminar.
Of course.
I thought that was weird.
Of course.
A seminar.
I've judged before, and I hate it. I love refereeing. I've reffed
it's
before.
hard.
I love reffing. I've judged before. I'll never do it again.
It's
extremely hard. I don't want to do it.
Because you have to judge it right then and there. You don't have any time to rewatch.
There's no replay.
Yeah.
And from your angle, did that punch land or did they slip? Are
figuring
these
that
punches
out.
really landing or are they blocked?
Mm-hmm.
But the one on the other side, they saw it land on the chin, and that's clearly a knockdown. I saw him slip.
Yeah.
It's like
control time, significant strikes.
Course.
It's so much stuff to put together.
And it's like, have these people fought before?
Yeah.
Or are we just taking?
They're just guy off the street.
Yeah.
You know?
Are we taking 85-year-old people who watch boxing their whole life and making them judge MMA?
The scorecard is adopted from boxing.
Exactly.
10-9.
Exactly. And I'm like on the fence on it, but we're the only sport where you don't know if you're winning or losing until it's over. There's been several conversations about the live scoring and putting something up in between rounds. Whatever. So it's like it's the only sport where you don't know if you're winning or losing until it's over.
Yeah.
But I mean, would you press or do something different if you saw it? Probably.
Yeah.
If I could see that I'm down 2 rounds, I'd probably do something different. Maybe.
Yeah.
Right. But the counter to that is if I'm up 2 rounds, I won't push it anymore.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I got it.
It's such a weird thing.
It's a weird balance.
There's so much more there. I mean, what in boxing you got strikes to the head, strikes to the body, and sometimes you land when you're hugged up and clinched with a guy. I mean, what else do you land other than that?
Yeah.
With MMA, you got
Literally
leg kicks, head kicks,
Literally
body kicks, punches to the body, punches to the face.
Mm-hmm.
Then there's the jiu-jitsu and submission attempts. What does that count for? If he almost lands a submission for almost the entirety of a round, is that a 10-8? Like, what is that? What is that?
Give it to the guy on top and just sitting there?
Yeah.
On top?
Yeah.
It's like, just because you're on top doesn't mean you're winning, really.
Yeah.
If you're getting sub after sub after sub, I would argue that the guy on the bottom is winning.
Yeah.
He's not getting up, but he's trying to end you right now.
You're going to get points in a jiu-jitsu tournament.
You'd be up way up.
Yeah.
And I feel like the guy on bottom is trying to end you. The guy on top is just trying to wait for the bell. So
Yeah.
I would argue the guy on the bottom. But we've seen time again where the guy on top wins just because he's on top.
Yeah.
It's a very complex thing. I'm glad it's not on me to decide it.
Yeah.
I'll just keep finishing my fight so the judges
It's
don't
such
matter.
a weird thing. It's such a weird thing, and everyone talks about, it needs to change, and it does impact a lot. That's the whole big thing with it. It's you're changing whether someone's getting paid their winning.
Half or full.
Yeah.
For sure.
So
I'm just gonna keep
Yeah.
finishing my fights. It won't
yeah,
matter.
that's what Dana
Judges
says.
can take a
Never
break.
leave it in the
Of
hands
course.
of the judges ever.
The judges can take a break when I fight. I'm good.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the best thing everyone should do. It seems.
We have to.
Yeah.
Then it's on
Especially
you.
if Sal D'Amato scoring your fight, or
Then it's
Mike
on
Bell.
you. You didn't finish it. It's on
Weird
you.
rounds. Oh. Well, is there anything else you want to get off your chest, really?
Not really, man. I'm just getting back into the swing of things. I'm not retiring. I had some injuries I had to button up. Some life things I had to deal with.
Yeah.
But no, I'm not retired. I will be back. I'm hoping to just take off next year to get back into the UFC. But we'll see. I'm going to keep training. The fights will happen. And I'm not done by any means. I'm only 30 and I'll be back.
All right. Well, I appreciate you coming in.
Thank you, man.
If you want to let anyone know your links or channels or Instagram.
Well, yeah, Jay Wallace MMA, Instagram, Facebook, all that fun stuff. YouTube, Jesse James Wallace. Put some instructional stuff on there, trying to build that up. But yeah, just check me out. And thank you for taking time watching the video. Appreciate it.